righty. Good morning or good afternoon to everyone watching. Thanks for your patience. We are, once again, our monthly trivia. Here we are. We're a little bit earlier than we typically are in the month due to some vacation planning and different other things happening. But we are so excited to welcome our friend, our guest multiple times on multiple things, multiple events, live events, taped events. Jill Schoelen is back with us today. Welcome back, Jill. And if you guys are new to the show, this is our head-to-head. I think we started calling it like pop culture initially, but it really is just like a trivia about. We tend to kind of gear it into movies that we're covering on a particular month. We'll do some questions about that. We'll do questions about our guests. We'll do questions that have nothing to do with anything. And it's always a fun time. And today Zach and Jill will be battling, mostly on stuff regarding 1987. Generally, I would say that's your kind of your hint. Every question will be a multiple choice question of 4 selections, and the way that this typically works is, if a person gets a question wrong, the other person has a chance to steal, and we are playing first person to 5 points, or if I run out of questions, the person with the highest score. It's happened before.
It did. I
don't know if it'll happen today. Sometimes we, as the game master, we always think like, oh, these are going to be really easy, these questions, and then it turns out they're not. And sometimes it's contextual, like if you're out of a certain context, it doesn't make sense. Right. Some things are fresher in the mind for some people when we've talked about it, other things, but for the most part, it's equal playing field for sure. And we are playing on behalf of our patrons, as always. And if you guys would like us to play on your behalf, sign up at the address below, patreon.com/$2 late fee. We have a bunch of fun things there. Overall, we have Tales from the Video Store. We do this every month. Play for our patrons for prizes, movies, all that good stuff. So go on down there and check it out. And today, you both will be playing on behalf of some patrons. Jill, you are playing on behalf of our one of our, I would say, maybe hands down, our most loyal, our most consistent, our rock patron, Magdalena, who I don't believe is watching today. She told me she couldn't be here for the fun, but
she can watch the replay.
Yeah, you are playing on her behalf. So we thank you as always, Magdalena, and we're excited for today's matchup. And Zach will be playing for a longtime patron as well, someone who's been at our highest tier, supported me since day one. My father, Jeff Rubin.
How cool is that?
Has finally, jumped into this, and he may be watching. He may not be. Who can say? We never know.
At our highest tier, Jill, we make mix CDs for our patrons, so they get a personalized mix CD of the music that we featured on the show. And Jeff and Halise, Dustin's parents, have been supporting since day one and have been getting quite a few interesting 80s songs with our dedication.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so much fun.
Yeah.
I just want to say probably will be over quickly, the game. Unfortunately, I think I'm terrible at trivia.
Yeah, but I need to tell you, like, this isn't like for the most part, Jill, it's not like I'm going like, what character? Like it's so like some of the questions are so weird, I'll tell you, because I go on these weird rabbit holes and I connect dots that are really dumb. So the question will start over here and end completely over here. Today, I was a little more pressed for time, so they're not as ridiculous journey.
Oh,
but
I might do better at ridiculous.
She will. I think she will. Last time I played, it was against Andre Gower from the film The Monster Squad, and we tied. So this could happen again.
Yeah. Very unusual. As a first tie, I felt weird about it, to be honest.
Dustin and Oh, I have a cassette tape too, by the way.
Oh, that would be great. Yes, that would be perfect.
So Jill, instead of flipping a coin to see who goes first, we flip a cassette tape because it's an 80s show. Side A or side B. And the cassette tape we will be flipping is the soundtrack to That Was Then, This Is Now.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know there was one.
Well, there's the weird thing about this soundtrack. The opening to That Was Then, This Is Now, which Jill is in, for everyone wondering why I pulled that soundtrack. The opening to the movie starts with Just Another Day by Oingo Boingo. It's not on the soundtrack. Of all the songs,
notes to editor.
Wait. It's in the opening of the film?
Yes.
But it's not on the cassette.
No, I guess they just didn't get the licensing or something.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But it does have the title track, That Was Then, This Is Now by oh my gosh, who's the by? It is by Randy Wayne and Carol Sue Hill.
Of course.
Hey.
Anyways, Jill, you're gonna choose side A or side B of the That Was Then, This Is Now soundtrack.
Okay. Side B.
All right, I'm gonna flip it.
Oh, side B.
And it lands on side B, program 2, which is side B. So.
Program 2, Born
which
Alone.
Features a love theme from That Was Then, This Is Now, which is kind of interesting.
It just says Sly on it. It's just like Sly is the final track.
So anyways, that means you get to go first.
I gotta go on the search for one of those cassette tapes.
Well, maybe I'll give this to you.
Kind
of guy I am.
He's not joking. It's in the mail. It just went in the mail right now off screen.
By the way, everyone watching and listening, we have throughout this, we'll be discussing what's coming up next month on $2 late fee, because it's a big month for $2 late fee.
Yes, it is. I will also say too that if you guys have not listened or watched our original interview with Jill, we do talk about all That Was Then, This Is Now. We talk about all that great stuff with you.
Under Alley, Rich Girl, everything.
Yes, and then as well as Jill came on and did Roadhouse Live with us.
Oh my gosh!
We've done some, so you guys can see that or hear that. I should say we have the audio of that up, and
we talked about Babes in Toyland when that came out.
Babes in Toyland and Last Christmas. So so if you go into our webpage and you search Jill's name, all of that stuff will come up. So
I
encourage everybody to do that. All right. So Jill, you're going to go first. If you get the question right, you'll hear this sound. If you get the question wrong, you will hear.
I think I'm going to hear that one a lot, but I'm ready.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Okay, so we're going to start. We're just going to jump right into the coals of trivia. This month on $2 late fee, we featured the 1987 James Belushi or Jim Belushi, depending on your personal preferences. He goes by both. The Jim Belushi film called The Principal. Now, Jim Belushi shares his birthday with one other famous Jim. Is it A, Jim Henson? Is it B, Jim Varney? Is it C, Jim Carroll? Or D, Jimmy Kimmel? And this is a question for Jill, by the way, Zach. I feel like
I know.
Okay. You feel you're ready to answer. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
I'm going with D.
D, Jimmy Kimmel? Oh, I'm sorry. That is incorrect.
Oh, gosh.
There we go.
Very weird.
Honestly, Jill, I was thinking the same thing.
Was it Jim? Oh, no, I can't.
Well, Zach has a chance to steal.
Zach?
Yeah, so my choices now are Jim Henson, Jim Carroll, Jim Varney, and that's it, right?
That's it.
I'm going, well, Jim Varney, I believe might have been born on my birthday, which is June 11th. I'm going to go with Jim Carroll because that's kind of an obscure name to pull.
It's an obscure name to pull, and it is incorrect. No, the correct answer was Jim Varney. And
he's
their
not
birth.
born on June 11th.
No, he's born on June 15th, my friend.
Oh, it's another Gemini. That's what it was.
I don't know, whatever that means to you. But look, I feel like this is a weird pattern with you and celebrity birthdays, because you're always like, it happens on my birthday, but then it's always a week off. So I think you've somehow switch these things in your brain to be close to your birthday, which I
tell you what, I bet you anything. This is if we had my mom on here, she'd say, no, you were supposed to be born a week later.
Yes.
So I bet you that's what it was.
I'm sure that's what it was. Carol, not Jim Carroll, but Carol McKee, Zach's mom. If you're watching, I'm in on that.
And Jill, that's what my mom sounds like, by the way.
If
you
this
just
was
cracked me up, because I wish my eldest son was here, because he does my voice for all of his friends.
Oh, wow.
It's very similar.
Well, June 15th is coincidentally my father's birthday, who Zach is playing for today, Jeff Rubin.
So, well, sorry, Jeff.
And actually, Jim Varney was born the same year, so as my dad. So, cool. But anyway, it's June 15th. So I'm sorry you don't share a birthday with Jim Varney, Zach. But
I share a birthday with Gene Wilder, so I'll take that.
I'm sure we can.
Woo-woo.
Yeah, woo woo indeed. What if you shared a birthday with Judy Garland, Jill? Wouldn't that be wild?
Oh, I would love that. Now I have some people I share a birthday with. I think. Oh gosh, I don't remember who. I can't remember who now, but I think one of them is maybe Beethoven or someone like that.
Oh, yeah.
Very
He's kind of impressive, I guess.
Composer. Maybe it's Bach. Right. J.S. Bach. 0-0. Okay.
0-0. So that gives you an idea of the level of difficulty of these questions. You have a 25% chance of getting it right to start.
I'd never even heard of two of those people. Okay. I didn't know who they were.
Jim Carroll is the Basketball Diaries, and was a musician.
Yes.
Is a musician.
Actually, I do know that name.
Yeah.
I'm a little slow. Just woke up an hour ago.
No problem. No problem. No, we're all good. So we go back to you, Jill. One of the co-stars of 1987's The Principal is an actor named Troy Winbush, who you may be familiar with. You might know him. Troy, in The Principal, plays the character of baby Emil. But the role he is best known for was as the character of Denny on which popular sitcom? Was it A, Family Matters, B, The Cosby Show, C, 227, or D, A Different World?
You're killing me.
Yeah. Man.
I mean, hardcore fans would know this, but I don't think anybody.
Oh gosh. Okay. I really don't know. So what was the third one?
The third one is 227.
Oh, hello.
Puppy sighting.
Hello,
Puppy
Aaron.
sighting. Puppy and wife sighting.
I'm gonna go with. I'll go with D again. Different World.
D, A Different World. Is incorrect, but an excellent guess. Certainly.
I was going to go with the same thing again. I'm going to go with 227 then.
Wow. Well, you guys are consistent. I mean, you guys are consistent. No,
I'm sweating.
Fans of The Cosby Show.
Oh,
will know Denny as one of Theo's good friends, and there was this infamous episode. I mean, look, Bill Cosby has become obviously, sort of. There's a stigma attached because he's a terrible human being, but the reality is The Cosby Show was one of the most popular sitcoms, of the era.
It was.
And Denny was in this episode where he had gotten his girlfriend Lisa this expensive watch, and then the cops came and they were like, what's we think this watch is stolen. And then poor Denny shows up and he's like, it wasn't. Anyway.
Didn't see that.
Anyway. This is where we are. We're still 0-0.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
0-0.
Come on, Jill. Get it together.
Guess better. You're just
these are. I mean, look,
Zach.
Zach tends to only give 3 multiple choice. I like to go 4 because when you're stealing, sometimes it's just like
harder. Yeah,
it's about to steal.
Let's go for 4.
But it is. Yeah, but it is.
Like, why couldn't Zach be the game master?
Right. Okay, so Jill, we go back to you again.
Okay.
Another up and coming young actor in The Principal was Esai Morales, and Zach loves him in La Bamba, but he very recently starred in. He starred as the villain as part of a blockbuster movie franchise. Was that blockbuster franchise A, Transformers, B, Deadpool, C, Mission Impossible, or D, Beverly Hills Cop?
Come on, Jill. Come on.
It's got to be the second one or the fourth one. I don't really have no idea.
I need a more specific answer than that, Jill. That's how the rules go. But
okay. I was never good with the rules.
Right.
So what was the second one
or
again?
the fourth? So it's A, Transformers, B, Deadpool, C, Mission Impossible, or D, Beverly Hills Cop.
I'm going to say Beverly Hills Cop.
That's a good guess.
It is a good guess. Axel F is back in the spotlight. Zach, would you like a chance to steal?
I would. So I do want to say it shocked me. We talked about this on the episode that Esai Morales made The Principal with La Bamba, and The Principal came out the same year, 1987. And Esai, depending on when they film these movies, obviously could be, a great difference in time, but Esai looks so dramatically different as Bob in La Bamba versus in The Principal. And he's such a tremendous actor, but I know this one because I saw it in the theater with my son last year. It is the Mission Impossible franchise coming back for number 2, I believe, next year.
That is correct. I had wanted to go see Mission Impossible, but then I saw it was like an hour and 700 minutes. And so I didn't go.
I saw the first part of that, and I forget what happened. I was in the desert, and I was at the movie theater, and I was loving it, and something happened. I got like an emergency phone call and had to up and leave.
Oh no!
Oh gosh!
So, yeah, there you have it. So,
well, you missed out on Esai Morales.
Some of those franchises, unfortunately, I've never even seen one of them.
Well,
I haven't seen any of the Transformer movies. Isn't that shocking?
I've never seen any of the Deadpool movies. So.
They're not that good.
Neither have I.
There you go.
No. For one of you, that makes sense.
Hey.
Oh, now I'm going to feel guilty, and I'm going to have today is a rest day for me. I might have to do a movie marathon of all the Transformer films.
No, don't
waste your time doing that. There's no benefit to that. No, do a Judy Garland marathon or something.
There you go. Watch all 3 versions of A Star Is Born, or all 4 versions of A Star Is Born.
So much better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Zach is on. Zach is on the board.
Woohoo!
Woohoo, Zach!
1-0. Again, it is the first to 5 points, and or whenever I run out of questions. So Zach got that right. So Jill, we go back to you. Right?
Okay.
James Jim Belushi is the star of The Principal. In May 2012, he announced that he was dealing with what health ailment? publicly? Was it A, dyslexia, B, insomnia, C, gout, or D, crabs?
Okay, you're just I'm not gonna I'll be dead by the end of the show because you're killing me. I am gonna say C.
Yeah, C, gout. That is correct.
Nice.
Very, very good. Yeah, so James Belushi, around holiday time, started this campaign in 2012 as a gout awareness campaign because he was having flare-ups. He was diagnosed. Yeah, so he is a gout advocate, gout awareness.
I mean, and when you brought up crabs, I was going to say everyone knows from seeing the movie The Last American Virgin starring Diane Franklin that you can just drown crabs in the local swimming pool.
Yep. There you go.
No, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. Anyways, we're tied.
I don't know anything about it. That is hilarious.
Oh my God.
Is he gout
really
from like
in that film?
Oh yeah, Diane Franklin's in that film.
But they say that?
Oh yeah, in the movie.
Talk about it?
Yeah. So here's a little tease for next month, everybody. Jill and Diane Franklin will be a part of our annual fundraiser that we do, a live show, September 21st. We're going to advertise starting this Wednesday. And we can ask Diane directly about that question about crabs in the pool.
There you go.
She's, I just have to piggyback and say she is one of the sweetest, kindest, loveliest human beings.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the same can be said for you, Jill. So it's fitting that the two of you
I'm not in that. I try and be as kind as I can be, but you know, and no buts. It's just that she's extraordinary. I'm just going to leave it there.
Absolutely. Diane is a gem, and well, the two of you are, and we're excited for that next month because that's going to be a lot of fun.
Woo woo.
Yep.
And we're tied now. We're tied.
Very excited. Yep. You guys are tied. Zach, we're going back to you for this next question.
All right. I'm ready.
Jill got that right. In addition to being an actor, Jim Belushi is a farmer. What crop does he primarily grow? Is it A, corn, B, tomatoes, or tomatoes if you're across the pond, C, oregano, or D, cannabis?
I'm going with D, cannabis.
And you are correct. Jim Belushi, a very prolific cannabis farmer, many different varieties up in Oregon, Belushi Farms. Check it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Check it out.
See, I would have thought that would have been so obvious that I wouldn't have picked it. I would have picked like B, tomatoes.
Great. Which I feel like cannabis is a little bit hardier of a crop to harvest. I feel like at least I know that hemp is. I know the hemp is you can grow that anywhere.
Right.
And it'll grow in like the worst conditions. But I don't know about tomatoes and corn and the other one. So
Oregano.
Yeah,
I don't know much about oregano farming, to be honest. I had harvesting oregano.
Is that a song? Don't know much about oregano.
Yeah. No. It is. I love oregano. I think oregano's.
Oh, you sing good, Zach.
Really
Thanks.
Coming
from you, that means a lot.
If anyone has tried, Jill, you sang great in Cincinnati, that song.
Yes.
The Babes in Toyland song.
I love that little song.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a great song. We play it all the time. But if anyone is watching has partaken in Jim Belushi's cannabis, give a comment below. I'm curious. I've never had any, but apparently it is very good and very well known.
And if you want to hear a wild story about Jim Belushi on ayahuasca, look that up on YouTube. He recounts his time he took ayahuasca. It's wild. So
Okay, there you go. Look it up on YouTube.
Google
Check it out. Look it up below. We'll link to it in the show for the replayers. All righty. So Zach takes the lead 2-1.
Wow. Thanks, Jill. Thanks, Jill.
As we turn back to you, Jill, for questions about you.
Yay.
Oh gosh. Are you really getting those ones wrong?
Before we kind of went live, Zach was mentioning your Rich Girl poster. He was wondering where it was. You used to have a Rich Girl poster for a brief time behind you on the wall in your office.
Mm-hmm.
We learned it is now not there, and Zach is very sad. But Rich Girl, we both love that movie. The late, great Paul Gleason played your father in that movie.
Yes.
And before he became well known for his roles, basically playing an a-hole in movies like The Breakfast Club and Die Hard, Van Wilder, he was most well known as Dr. David Thornton in which soap opera? Was it A, Days of Our Lives? Was it B, All My Children? C, As the World Turns? Or D, General Hospital?
I'm going to say As the World Turns.
That is not correct.
Oh,
obviously, it's like as good a guess as anybody.
I'm going to be so upset if it's a soap opera I watched.
Yeah, well, people, love soap operas, and Zach was Paul Gleason, Dr. David Thornton on Days of Our Lives, All My Children, or General Hospital.
See, you say doctor, and my immediate thought is to go to General Hospital because but I believe there's only one doctor on General Hospital worth noting, which is Rick Springfield's character on General Hospital, right? I'm going to go with A. I'm going to go with
B. All My Children. That was such good deduction. I was like, oh, yeah, you're going with the Rick Springfield. And
it's General Hospital, isn't it?
It's All My Children.
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh, and I watched All My Children from day one. Every episode.
Do you remember him on it?
On ABC.
Do you remember him on it, or
no? I don't remember him on it. But a really good friend of mine was on it. He's since passed. Richard Hatch. Do you remember Richard?
Yes.
Yeah. And I never remembered seeing him on it either. I mean, it was on a lot of years.
Yeah, and he was on from 1975 to 1978. So he did a 4-year stint there, and
Paul Gleason.
Yeah.
Oh, so that was a long time ago. Okay.
It was. So even if you were a religious,
that seems to be the era I forget people is that
right.
I remember more like sitting around with my little cousin watching it, than I do actually what was on the screen. Wow. Okay.
Well, and I believe your co-star of Rich Girl, Sean Kanan, was also on All My Children. Sorry. He's on The Bold and the Beautiful. The Bold and the Beautiful.
Oh, I thought he was on General Hospital.
He may have been on both.
He may have been on both.
There's a lot of cross-pollination in that soap world. So
I
know Rick Springfield was on General Hospital. That's all I know. So.
That's all he knows.
Also, another old friend. God, I haven't seen him in 30, 40 years. I think he was a doctor on General Hospital too. Now I can't even think of his name. You guys, I'm so.
It wasn't Rick Springfield.
He played MacGyver.
Richard Dean Anderson.
Yes, Richard.
Nice. He was a doctor on General Hospital.
Richard.
He was a doctor on General Hospital?
I think so, yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah, he was definitely on it because that's where I met him.
Wow.
Well, that's fun.
Cool. I didn't know that.
I feel like there's more to that story, Jill. Is there more to that story?
No, there's not. No,
Oh, okay.
We played a lot of celebrity tennis tournaments together. Back in the day.
That's cool.
A couple, but I met him because I was like, a teenager in high school, and a friend of mine worked on the lot where they shot. So she knew I was such a huge fan of General Hospital. So she took me down there one day and I met him. I met him a couple times at that point. And they play celebrity tennis tournaments.
Oh, cool.
There you have it.
I like it.
The aristocrats.
All right, cool. All right, so just a quick reminder, Zach is up 2-1.
I
Keep it up there fast. You both got that. You both got that wrong, so we go back to Jill.
Okay.
We're kicking butt. We're kicking butt.
Okay.
So Jill, we talked to you about a lot of things, your filmography, a lot of stuff. We have barely scratched the surface on one particular aspect, which is your music. And according to Wikipedia, you released your debut jazz album, Kelly's Smile, in what year? And again, according to Wikipedia, so you can tell us if this is true or not. But was it A, 2009, B, 2007, C, 2006, or D, 2008?
Boy, I think Wikipedia got it wrong, but it would have to be 2009.
That is correct. But is that correct?
I thought it was 2010.
Oh,
but
okay.
It might have been at the very end of 2009. I don't remember. Like maybe I did the filing then, but I don't think it actually was until 2010.
Interesting. Can you tell us about that album? Are you playing all these?
I can. But this is very, of course, it's always joyful to make an album. But that particular project is, trivia. You remember the TV show Emergency. You remember the TV show Emergency, and Julie London and Bobby Troop were on it. They played Nurse Dixie, and they're a married couple. And the song, the famous song, "Get Your Kicks on Route 66." Okay,
right.
So Bobby Troop wrote that song, and they were really not known as actors at all, but she was married to Jack Webb, Julie London's first husband. And they had all these kids, and they were in an in-between time. And so to help them out financially, he put them on the show Emergency. And Julie was obviously a prolific, one of the greatest jazz singers, in my opinion, of all time, the most lilting voice ever. Kelly was their daughter. My best friend, I grew up across the street from them, starting around 11, 12 years old in Encino. And Kelly, so all the songs were songs that Bobby wrote, that Julie made famous, or something about my relationship with Kelly and that family. But they were pretty much all songs Julie and Bobby wrote. And that Bobby wrote and Julie sang, or Julie sang. And Kelly was my best friend, and Bobby wrote this song called Kelly's Smile. And very sadly, in our 30s, Kelly passed away from a cancer that nobody ever, nobody at that time had ever with that cancer. It was a very, very rare cancer about the endocrine system. So not to be depressing, but that's the story behind that. But I used to sing all the time for the troops. They would call me when they'd have company over and say, "Oh, Jill, bring your guitar and come over and sing a song." And that's why the song by Bread, "If," is on there, because I loved when I would do "If" by Bread. And much fun with the music. So that's why I did that. I dedicated that album to Kelly. It was very, very personal for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you did the CD, can people still get that CD?
Yeah, they can.
Okay.
I really don't know. I know that it's available on Apple Music, and I think it's on many platforms. And
Cool.
And one of these days, if I ever put up a website, which I've been threatening to do for a long time, I would have it on there too.
Right.
I have, physical. I'm the only one that now has the physical copies of it. But you can get it streaming. You can buy it streaming or listen to it streaming. We did it the old-fashioned way. We actually played the music and I actually sang it.
No, that's too old-fashioned.
No auto-tuning going on?
No fixes, nothing. We did 1 to 3 takes and moved on to the next song. So, it's more pure. That's how I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
I worked with fabulous jazz musicians, basically trio, but every now and then we did after. I would plug in, maybe pop in a saxophone on something, but that was the only thing done after in the mixing. The actual track laying was all done at the same time, the vocals and the instruments. We isolated. We had 4 different booths and went in there and did it. Woo woo, old fashioned.
Yeah. Right. Did you have you ever been to or performed at Vibrato Jazz Grill in what is that, Beverly Hills, or I guess
No. I haven't performed like that in years. I did do a couple performances at Vitello's.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Vitello's, and did a couple, but that I haven't. And now I have so many vocal problems. I've been writing a lot for my musical. And
right.
I recorded so many songs and I've sung the demos on nearly everything. But I tell you, COVID did something to my voice. It didn't do anything to anybody else's voice.
I mean,
I feel like it's not as strong.
Right.
My muscles feel like they're just not as strong.
Yeah.
But I love jazz. And jazz musicians, they never play the same thing once.
It's true.
Right.
It's true. There you go.
Every take is different. It's like, let's see how it comes out this time, which I love that.
Well, you're coming soon then. Your website with the CDs for sale on your website.
You're so sweet, you guys.
It's gonna happen.
Maybe Diallo can set that up while we're recording next time.
Yeah, we have a friend. We'll talk offline about this, so we're gonna make it happen. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Reminder: we are
tied, baby. Tied.
We are tied.
Oh, you gave me an easy one. I did it.
I don't think it was because
he said according to Wikipedia. He said according to. Yeah.
Oh, well, Wikipedia. I could point out a few things in that Wikipedia that is incorrect.
I'm sure you could.
Yep.
I want to just take a second to bring up Keith Simpson, who's watching. His comment: "I loved you, Jill, in Little House on the Prairie. Thought you was the most beautiful young lady, and you haven't changed one bit. Did you ever watch the show before or after you was on it?" I'll let you get to that, but that actually segues into the next question.
Okay.
So it was actually perfect timing, so Keith, thank you for the question. So you were on Little House, and as your character's name was Jane Canfield. You had we've talked with you about this at length, but you were blind. It's like a very memorable arc for a lot of people with Mr. Edwards. How many seasons did Little House run? Was it A, 8 seasons? Was it B, 9 seasons? C, 11 seasons? Or D, 4 seasons? Hotel.
Well, that's kind of. Oh wait, do I get to go first, or Zach?
Yes, it's for you.
Okay, that's kind of a trick question because the last season had a slightly different name. But if you count the last season's different name, it would be 9 seasons.
That is correct.
Wow.
9 seasons, B, 9 seasons. Really good, Jill. I feel like nobody would know that. And
that deserves a lasso and a.
It really does. It really, really does.
I don't know. Whatever.
It really, really does. So I guess you did watch the show before, to answer Keith's question, before you were on it and after you were on it.
Well, the only weird thing about it at the time was because they had changed the name. So that's the only reason I knew about how many seasons.
Because it was around the time when you were on it?
Because it was Little House, and then they changed it to Little House: A New Beginning.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But it's all considered Little House on the Prairie.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I knew.
Well, you knew, and that's awesome. and that puts you ahead.
But I did watch it.
Exactly.
I mean, what's not to love about Little House on the Prairie?
That puts you ahead 3-2.
And we're coming to this realization now that there was a lot of dark episodes on Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Olivia Barishon, who's like known as the character of Sylvia, who like it's this whole thing with a guy dressed like a clown. It's like one of the darkest stories you could ever come up with in television, and yeah, it has both like enhanced her life and ruined her life with stalkers. And anyway, but yeah,
because there are like Little House conventions, right, all over the country now.
I think there are. Because it was a big anniversary of the book or something. I don't know.
Is that why? Okay.
Something, or maybe it was the show, like the 50-year anniversary. I really don't know. 60-year anniversary. I have no idea. But I mean, it's certainly a beloved show, right?
Yeah,
it is. I mean, conventions dedicated to it, like you said. It's
right.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely huge. And the thing that I remember so distinctly is the way the show ran. You just do not find that in television. I mean, you only find it on a show that's ran for a long time, and they have their crew and everyone knows exactly how it works. I mean, that show was clockwork.
Wow.
It was a great experience.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. And you know what else is great? You're beating me now. So
you're beating.
Oh, woo, I got 3.
Beating.
And I didn't have to guess.
Right? That's amazing.
That was then. This is now.
So
all right.
Okay, so we're getting a heads up. We're getting to the end. We're getting close. I won't tell you how many questions are left because I want to surprise you guys with maybe who the winner is. But yeah, Jill and Zach, you guys can either, make it first to 5 points, or when the questions are done, who's ever left winning who's ever left leading will win.
Your dad's counting on me, Dustin. Your dad's counting on me.
Right? He's so angry in front of a screen right now. Just come on,
Schaefer, get it together.
You got it. So Jill got that last question right. Zach, so we go back to you for this next one.
All right.
The principal, as we've discussed, just to jump back to the principal real fast.
Yeah.
Came out in 1987. What was the highest grossing domestic movie of that year? We maybe touched on this in the past, but was it A, 3 Men and a Baby? Was it B, Dirty Dancing, which you've never seen for some reason?
Never seen.
Was it C, The Witches of Eastwick? Or was it D, Beverly Hills Cop 2?
Well, my mom did take me to see The Witches of Eastwick in 1987. I was 11 years old. Didn't see Dirty Dancing. Did see 3 Men and a Baby. I'm going to go with 3 Men and a Baby, A.
What?
That is incorrect. Jill, you have a chance to steal the highest grossing domestic movie of 1987. Was it B, Dirty Dancing, C, Witches of Eastwick, or D, Beverly Hills Cop 2?
I'm just going to have to go with what Zach did not see, Dirty Dancing.
What? Very interesting, guys. No, listen, there's a reason why Axel F is back, guys. And it's because Beverly Hills Cop 2
I was going to say
was the highest grossing movie of 1987 by far. It made almost $154 million.
An R-rated movie was the #1 grossing film. Wow,
that's a sequel.
Yeah, and a sequel too.
And a sequel. Yep. 3 Men and a Baby was number 5. Dirty Dancing was number 16.
Oh no.
Witches of Eastwick was number 9.
If I would have seen it, it would have been boost it up. So.
Yep.
Oh God, I'm a terrible guesser.
So am I, apparently. Oh
No,
God.
look, I mean, it doesn't seem right when you go like Beverly Hills Cop 2, right? Because it was just,
right.
it doesn't seem right.
But the first one was so popular that it was a logical conclusion, probably.
Yeah. Great soundtrack for sure.
Yep.
Witches of Eastwick, by the way, is a very underrated or underappreciated film that doesn't get mentioned as often as it should.
But you
Jack
know,
Nicholson, Cher, some.
Yeah, don't they have like screening? It has like a following. There are people that attach themselves to.
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
Yep.
But there should be
really strong fan following.
Yep. So no points awarded on that round. Maximus Prime has a comment for you, Jill, about just watching Phantom of the Opera.
Woo-woo.
Which is we've talked about that and you're singing in that and
right.
Great story.
No, I don't sing in that.
Right. No, I know. But I mean, we talked about that specific situation. Yeah, no spoiler. No, I just mean like that's a great story. And and their communication with you was not great. Right? With Phantom of the Opera. Well, I just remember you saying that like with Phantom of the Opera, you weren't necessarily told what was going to be recorded.
Oh no, what it was that they just assumed for both parts, my part and the part of Carlotta, they just assumed they had music done months earlier. It was done before they even started casting. And as it turned out, I'm so sorry, I can't remember her name, but the woman that played Carlotta, she was a huge West End star. Huge. And, she could sing it down like nobody's business, but it was already recorded. So that's that. We just had to sing to the people that recorded it months earlier, to us being hired on the film. And I didn't mind. I mean, it would have been so hard for me. That particular song I probably could have gotten away with. Other opera songs, no. No.
Right.
But that one wasn't horribly difficult, I don't think. The piece that they were filming.
Okay. Well, Hollywood, baby. It's crazy. It is. All right, cool. So Jill, you are still up, still leading 3-2 as we go into our
By the way, why is there no Little House on the Prairie Land? There should be Little House on the Prairie Land. Little blind girl walking around.
Yeah.
Why don't you start that?
No.
Get some investors. Let's get it going.
Why is that not a thing?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, achieve your dreams. You just say it.
Not my dreams, but
I think it should be.
I
don't know why it doesn't exist, because you haven't started it yet.
I think there should be if anyone steals this idea, you owe me.
Yeah, well, you're saying it here, so it's
Yeah, I'm saying it out loud. So mark this date if somebody does this. But I've always loved the idea of if they did a theme park, a horror theme park, and they would, just like they have at Disneyland rides and stuff, but you have the Psycho House, you have the, different attractions, and you make rides out of them.
Yeah, I think that needs to be like
places and
totally. That should be like a 24/7, thing versus just like once a year around Halloween. There should be Horror Land.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Like a theme park, it would be
totally
huge.
Agree.
They have to make it fun. They have to take out the evil aspect out of it to appeal to a larger audience. More scare fair. They just need to make it more scare fair.
Yeah, you could. I think they should.
But it like all the surprise elements. You turn a corner and you could have water rides, Crystal Lake.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
You're in the canoe and you're coming down and it's like sleepaway camp.
Yeah, there's so many. I
Yeah.
mean, you would have your pick, right? You just have
Right.
your pick. It'd be a
All
fun
right.
thing. It'd take a few $1 billion to get it going, but
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. Well, sadly, apparently, not Scary Farm here in Los Angeles or Southern California. This is the last year they're doing Knott's Scary Farm at Knott's Berry Farm, near Anaheim. So this is the final year for that.
Are they just getting rid of the maze or something? I feel like it's not like a huge
I think
deal.
they're shutting down the actual like annual event. But
are they? I don't know. I had heard like canceling the maze.
oh, okay. Well, maybe that's better.
maybe they were just reinventing it.
Yeah, true.
So like that version is.
Let's not be sad about this thing if we don't know what's
okay.
I'm just saying. I mean,
Don't be sad.
we can be sad if
I'm sad that I'm losing this game right now.
Zach.
But yeah, I think instead of the Olympics in 2028, we should just spend that money on making this amusement park.
Let's do it.
It's better. All right, cool. So we go back to Zach.
Right.
No points rewarded on that last question. Zach, Raydon Chong was our guest this month.
Yes.
Some of her top acting roles include Commando, American Flyers, Soul Man, Quest for Fire. Now, she's also credited, anecdotally, as being the person who discovered which famous Chris. Was it A, Chris Pine, B, Chris Hemsworth, C, Chris Pratt, or D, Chris Evans?
Oh, really interesting. I'm going to go with Chris Pine. I knew it.
Jill with a chance to steal. Which famous Chris did Raydon Chong discover? Was it Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pratt, or Chris Evans?
I'm going to go with Chris Evans. Oh, shoot.
So Chris Pratt? Was it Chris Pratt?
It's Chris Pratt. It's
I was going to say that.
Actually, a very interesting story that he was waiting tables at Bubblegum Shrimp in Hawaii, where she was filming and he was living. And, he waited on her. And she said, "You're very cute. Are you an actor?" And he said, "Yes." And then she ended up casting him in his first role.
Wow.
That's a good story. I like that story.
I would have liked it a lot more if I got the question right.
She's a nice girl, too.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, Raydon Chong will also be joining us for our annual fundraiser on September 21st. It's a Saturday from 11:30 to 3 something, I think. And stay tuned for details on that later in this month, and obviously getting closer to the date. But yeah, Raydon Chong will be joining us as well. Fantastic. I mean, you guys, if you haven't seen the interview we did with Ray, she is wild in a very good way. So, and go back and watch Jill's interview if you haven't yet. Go back or listen to it. Either watch it or listen to it, whatever.
Yeah.
So many great stories to tell, and so many great, there's just so much great content. And, Keith Simpson had asked about Best of Times, and we talk about Best of Times in that interview. And actually, that's a funny story too with Jill. So anyways, more to come.
Okay.
I'm losing by one.
You're still losing by one. Maybe these we have last two questions.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Come on, Jill.
We're not going to end in a tie. No matter what happens, we're not going to end in a tie. So if I have to, so just know that. Okay. So, okay, Zach, we go back to you.
We did.
We covered The Principal this month, 1987. One of the co-stars in that movie, Louis Gossett Jr., who we love and will be honoring on this month's Tales from the Video Store, talking about all of his individual roles that we found very moving. What is Louis Gossett Jr.'s middle name, Zach? Is it A, Charles, B, Cameron, C, Clive, or D, Calamity?
Calamity. Wow, that's an interesting
name.
But I wouldn't put it past someone naming their child middle name Calamity. I'm gonna go with Charles, and I think that's wrong, but I'm gonna go with it anyways. Gosh darn it!
Sorry, Zach, that is not correct. That is wrong, as you said.
I called it.
Jill, chance to steal. What is Louis Gossett Jr.'s middle name? Is it B, Cameron, C, Clive, or D, Calamity?
What's the first one, Cameron?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with what's that second one? Clive.
I'm gonna go with Clive.
Oh, it's
so
Calamity,
bad.
isn't it?
No, it's Cameron. It is Cameron. Louis Cameron Gossett Jr.
Never
Oh my
thought
God,
that.
to me that sounds like such a country club name.
Yeah, totally.
I agree.
Doesn't it? It sounds like he's going to come out with his tennis racket
and a sweater around his neck.
I know. I'm just wow.
I agree. Zach, no points were awarded. We're going back to you for this last question.
Okay, I can.
Now you have a chance. You have a chance to get it right, to tie, and Jill. If you get this wrong, basically Jill automatically wins.
Okay, fair.
So, but if you get it right, you tie, and then we come up with another question.
The answer is rich girl. The answer is rich girl.
As you guys. So just a quick reminder for those watching at home, 3-2, and here we go.
All right, hey, Bates still winning.
Zach,
yes.
What is Louis Gossett Sr.'s middle name?
Oh my God.
Is it A, Charles, B, Cameron, C, Clive, or D, Calamity?
Well, that would be really interesting if his entire name is his father's entire name as well. But I'm going to go with Cameron.
And you are correct.
Good choice.
Whoa.
Good choice.
What a nail biter this is. Wow.
Like George Foreman naming all his kids George.
Wow. Yes. Louis Gossett Sr., not in the business, was a porter. But they share the exact same name, and that brings Zach into the tie. So you guys just talk about something. I've got some questions here in the wing. I just need to.
So Jill, I have to ask you while Dustin's looking up a question really quick. It's I gotta say, you were on our show talking about your music career, and you're working on a musical right now, right? You posted a little bit of that on your social media, right?
Maybe at one point I did. I mean, a musical is very, very hard to write, and it's a passion project. So I don't get paid for it, not yet. And so I fit it in when I can.
Right.
Or, a lot of times I carve out a lot of time. I haven't worked on it a lot this year in a traditional way, but yeah, I've been writing it I started during COVID.
Yeah.
But we've written so much. I mean, we have the songs that we've already written and thrown out as we've gotten the story more defined.
Okay.
Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
no. Keep going.
Yeah, so I'm writing a musical, and it's really hard because you have to, when you write, it's hard enough to write a great song, right? Really good song. That's hard. And you can't write a song, it's not like 1 + 1 = 2. Songs are about 1 + 1 equaling, 7.
Right.
You're right. It has to be about the soul and the heart and all of that. So there you are writing a song, but these are characters, right? So you have to, you're dealing with not just writing the song, but the character who's singing the song. And then if there's the story element, the songs have to be, for the story. So it's tricky business. Very tricky business.
I thought about that because obviously, musicals continue to come out to this day. I'm talking about theatrically, and maybe they're not as memorable as some of the things. Like, last musical I can think of that, at least us on-screen musical that I can think of that had a really big following would be maybe Frozen, right? It had a bunch of songs from it that people just like automatically, oh, this is a radio hit, right? Or Hamilton. But then Frozen 2 comes out and people go, well, you know, it's not the same kind of catchy vibe that the first one had, or the Willy Wonka film that came out in the past year, which I actually found pretty, I enjoyed it, but the songs, there were a couple songs that were memorable, but not everything was that memorable.
No, I didn't. I thought they were not. I'm so sorry to say this, but I couldn't have been more disappointed with the music.
Well, yeah, I mean, and you're also going off of the fact that when you did Babes in Toyland, you know,
Leslie Burkus,
who created and crafted the original songs for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. You know, it's quite a difference, right?
Yeah.
But have there been any on-screen musicals that you've seen in the past few years that have really stood out to you, where you're like, that was really good?
Well, I mean, I think an obvious choice a lot of people would say is La La Land.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know, but I mean, La La Land, there are parts of it that I absolutely loved because I like how they made the characters real. They weren't great singers, they weren't great dancers, they were real people who did that a little better than your average person, right?
Yeah.
So that was, I loved that. I love the color scheme, that opening scene on the freeway, the dance scene.
Oh, yeah. So great.
You know, I mean, when it had me hooked right there. I was hooked. It didn't matter the rest of the movie. It had me. You know, it was like the Tom Cruise, you had me at hello. It had me at that first number.
Right.
Because that must have been that Century Freeway, whatever freeway that is there. But, you know, I loved Moulin Rouge. I thought that was so striking. Nothing had ever been done like that.
Right.
At first, I wasn't even sure I liked it because the cutting was so fast.
Yeah.
Right. It was so stylistically different. But yeah, other than that, you know, and Frozen's a great example of what I was talking about. You know, that one song, Let It Go, Let It Go.
Yeah.
That was so apropos to the main character, the girl,
totally,
the queen. But you could take that song out. It was conceptual, right? Let it go. We all can relate to that. We all can relate to finding our power. And then there are other songs in the musical that are not takeaway songs. They're really for that particular movie. Anyway, that's all.
No, and I'm fascinated, and we want to hear more. Can't wait to hear more about your musical as it progresses and organically grows.
Awesome.
So, yeah,
it's exciting. Thank you both for your patience during that time.
Hey, it's almost like we know what to do in between filling times.
Time of research. Quick reminder: score is tied 3-3.
Oh, here we go.
Now,
my dog is so thrilled about that.
Yes, if for some reason you both get this wrong, at the end of this question, we will need another time to prepare for another question. But hopefully, you know, there's still 4 choices here. There are still 4 choices here. We're keeping consistent with how the game has been played. Let me see here. Okay, so Zach got that last one right. So this goes to you, Jill. Which of these movies of 1987 was considered the biggest box office bomb of the year by total net loss? The budget was X. It lost this amount of money. Is it A, Ishtar, B, Leonard Part 6, another Bill Cosby classic, where he's riding an ostrich, C, RoboCop, or D, Teen Wolf 2?
Well, I have to go with the second one because I've never heard of it.
The Leonard Part 6.
Yes.
As being the biggest box office bomb, losing the most money.
Well, I remember everybody talked about Ishtar and what a bomb that was, but I think they talked more about how bad it was. I'm not sure it
Oh,
Okay, right.
lost
Interesting.
as much
Okay, so
money.
your choice is Leonard Part 6.
this is
Oh,
a good,
Leonard. Did you say Leonard Part 6? Is
I
that
did.
what it is? Leonard Part 6.
That is, I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Zach, would you like to steal for the game?
I mean, thank you, Jill. Because I was thinking the same thing, but I'm gonna go with Ishtar because I think it was based on the budget that the budget they put into it. So
yes, that is correct.
Fun fact, Ishtar is not a bad movie in my opinion. I think it's actually a pretty decent film.
Ishtar lost $40 million in 1987, which was.
So who was it? It was Dustin Hoffman and Warren Beatty, right?
Elaine May directed. It was very hyped up. This is going to be amazing.
That's what I remember, but I didn't realize it was.
People didn't love it, and they didn't go to see it. And I'm sorry, Jill, but that means that Zach has taken the game. And we would normally play our song, but we don't want YouTube to have a copyright issue, so we're not going to do that.
We could play something from Thunder Alley, couldn't we?
Well, I feel like that's it's so appropriate whenever we have Jill. Let's give it a little.
Thunder Alley is an amazing soundtrack, y'all.
Yep. Well,
That guy from that band, the way he walks like this.
Yeah. Roger Wilson, baby.
Yep. Jill, we cannot thank you enough for coming, playing, sharing your humor, your kindness, your laughter, your vulnerability, all that. As we go into we got to get to verse 1. It's so exciting.
Thank you, guys.
But yes, but you didn't win today. I'm sorry.
That's all right. But right.
So Jeff Rubin did. Jeff Rubin won, and
Jeff Rubin did
have a selection of Blu-rays to choose from, including the all-nighter starring Susanna Hoffs from 1987.
Oh,
there you go.
My goodness.
There you go.
Anyway.
So yeah, everybody.
Jeff.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you for your comments, engaging.
Yeah, thank you, Jill. Thank you so much.
You guys. Thank you, everyone. It's such a pleasure.
Everyone watching and listening, September 21st, more info on our social media this week coming up, but September 21st, starting at 11:30 West Coast time. Jill will be amongst many other amazing guests on our show. We'll have prizes, we'll have musical guests, we'll have a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Subscribe to us if you haven't already. So I'll let you know.
Yep. I love it.
Great.